everyone. Very good evening and welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. I'm so sorry. My name is Alpa Sharma and in today's session we shall be discussing the must-do questions in English if you're aiming for AILET. If you could quickly confirm that I'm clearly audible and visible, we shall commence with our set of questions that I've brought for you today. Hi Dia, good to see you again and thank you for confirming that I'm clearly audible and visible. Thank you, Dia. I'm feeling much better. Hi, good evening, Samar. So what are we going to do in this session today? Since we have our crash course going on for AILET and CLAT simultaneously on our YouTube channel, this session aims at telling you what kind of questions that you should be doing if you're preparing for AILET. And before I proceed with exactly the kind of questions that I brought for you, I'd like to talk to you for a few seconds about the sample paper CLAT has released. And we've seen a few changes that they have brought up in the sample paper that they've released comparatively to the last year's paper. And taking cue from the same thing, I have prepared this class for you where I brought some questions that you're supposed to do in English if you're targeting AILET. And my session that I brought, I'm so sorry, I'll have to. The kind of questions that I brought today, they deviate a little away from last year's paper. Very close, yet a little away. I'll tell you exactly what I mean here when I show you the questions. So I've taken cues from the last many years' papers. I've gathered some questions which will prepare you amply for the English section for AILET if you're targeting that. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining me. So let's see what is going to be the agenda for today's class. But before that, we've launched our test series and we're putting in tremendous amount of effort to create this specific set of tests for you. A lot of hard work goes behind that. A lot of research goes behind that. We have NLU alumni who prepares these tests for you. Make sure you enroll yourself for this program. If you wish to sit for examinations, tests that are very close to the actual examination, this is what you need to purchase. You don't have to look any further. Now, what are we going to be doing in the session today? Yes, so I have some questions. And these questions, as I said, it deviates a little away from last year's paper, but not really far off. If you look at 2022's AILET English paper, it was dominated with RCs. We had 9 RCs in that year's paper, 2022's paper. But then, since we saw CLAT deviating a little away in the sample paper, I have gathered some questions that have appeared in the previous year papers so that you know the kind of question AILET gives us. And there's not going to be any surprise if AILET gives us these kind of questions back. So we'll be discussing what are the additional kind of questions you're supposed to do beyond RCs. Because RCs तो आप anyway कर रहे हो, CLAT के लिए भी कर रहे हो, AILET के लिए भी कर रहे हो. इसके अलावा आपको और क्या करने की नीड है so that आपके लिए AILET को क्लियर करना बहुत इजी हो जाएगा. ये हम डिस्कस करेंगे आज के सेशन में. तो जल्दी से स्टार्ट करते हैं. Let's have a look at the PPT that I've brought for you today. The first question that we have is here in my background. So you can call it an idiom. There have been quite a time that AILET has given us idioms and phrases and sometimes foreign phrases as well. So I highly recommend up idioms and phrases, foreign phrases, you revise them quickly because they come in handy specifically when you solve English or legal reasoning section as well. Where to do them from? Foreign phrases आपको करने के लिए you have to download our app. There are many tests on foreign phrases as well as idioms and phrases available. So दोनों को आप app से कर सकते हो. Apart from that, idioms पे we've taken many sessions. So you can just search for our channel name and idioms and you'll find the sessions that we've taken. What do you think is going to be the answer? अच्छा, already answers आ गया. A, B, A. अच्छा. Related to signs, beginning and end. C नहीं बोल रहा कोई. A to Z. Alpha and omega is A to Z. Right? नहीं? अच्छा, a lot of people are saying related to signs. बच्चे, मैंने आपको क्या बताया था? ये idioms हैं. Alpha and omega साइंस में आप पढ़ते होगे, but the idiom कभी भी अपने literal meaning नहीं लेके आते हैं. You can't make this mistake by marking it A. Idioms का हमेशा एक hidden meaning होता है. They are never direct with the meaning of the words that they have. Since they are never direct, A option तो automatically गलत हो जाता है, यहाँ outrightly wrong हो जाता है. So my answer has to be out of these three options that I have. अल्फा और ओमेगा आप देखते हो साइंस में, बट इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि ये साइंस से रिलेटेड है. ये एक ईडियम है, ये एक मुहावरा है जिसका मीनिंग हमेशा किसी न किसी कहानी से रिलेटेड होगा. इसका करेक्ट आंसर होगा, ऐसी गलती नहीं करना कभी भी. ओके, द करेक्ट आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी अ बी हियर. From the beginning to the end, the alpha and omega of studying English for AILET is that we need to focus on idioms as well. From the beginning to the end, इसका nutshell ये है शुरू से लेके लास्ट तक में कि आपको idioms and phrases करने चाहिए, आपको RCs करने चाहिए, आपको और बहुत सारी चीजें करनी चाहिए, which we'll figure out in this session today. So alpha and omega is from the beginning to the end. So idioms, direct questions आते थे, बिल्कुल वापस आ सकते हैं. ओके, इट्स ओके, इट्स ऑल राइट भावेश, और वापस बिल्कुल आ सकते हैं. एंड दे वेरी वेरी स्कोरिंग. जस्ट दैट आपको उसको किसी चीज से लिंक करना है. द मोमेंट यू लिंक इट, यू विल बी एबल टू फाइंड द आंसर. चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 2. हियर यू गो. Okay, so you have a foreign phrase here, not an idiom but a foreign phrase. Antediluvium. क्या मीनिंग होगा इसका? Let me see who can guess it correctly. Antediluvium, is it going to be old time, up to date, time period, or against dualism? If you also try to Google some foreign phrases जो legal में use होते हैं, you'll find a lot of phrases. DAD, against dualism. अच्छा एक बात बताओ बिफोर आई प्रोसीड, मुझे ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है यहां बहुत सारे लोग सिर्फ तुक्का लगा रहे हैं. एम आई राइट? एलेट में अब नेगेटिव मार्किंग होती है, ये याद है ना? पहले नहीं होती थी बाय द वे. फॉर क्वाइट अ व्हाइल क्लैट नेगेटिव मार्किंग देता था, एलेट नहीं देता था. बट मुझे ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है, समर्थ, नाउ यू हैव यूज्ड लॉजिक बट अदर्स आर ओमिटिंग इट. बहुत सारे लोग, मुझे ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है, दे जस्ट गोइंग फॉर फ्लूक्स. सोचो, हाँ तुक्का लग रहा है मुझे, ऐसा तुक्का. डोंट गो फॉर फ्लूक्स, यूज सम लॉजिक, सम कॉमन सेंस अप्लाई करके देखो. कुछ लॉजिक. एंटे मीन्स पास्ट, लाइक एंटीक. सोच सकते हैं ना हम थोड़ा सा. वी डोंट हैव टू रश फॉर एन आंसर. थिंक. नहीं पता है वर्ड तो भी सोचो, क्या आप कोई रिलेटेड वर्ड निकाल सकते हो? एंटीक तो आई एम श्योर आपने सुना होगा, वो एंटे से ही आया, दैट्स पास्ट. अब मुझे बताओ क्या आंसर होना चाहिए इन चारों ऑप्शंस में से? ओल्ड टाइम, अप टू डेट, टाइम पीरियड, अगेंस्ट डुअलिज्म. एंटे एंड एंटी दो अलग अलग वर्ड्स है. ओके, आई थिंक यू थॉट एंटी और डिलूवियम को आपने सिमिलर साउंडिंग वर्ड डुअलिज्म के साथ लिंक करके डी बता दिया सब लोगों ने. बिल्कुल गलत. Yes, Preeti. Now the correct answer is going to be an A. Antediluvium is old time, old fashioned, पुराने टाइम की बातें जो अब obsolete हो चुकी हैं. That's antediluvium. Okay? Hi Azad, good to see you back. So that's antediluvium. आया सबको समझ में? If you Azad, I'm sorry, I'll be speaking a bit in Hindi as well, but then I hope you understand. So ultimately, if you don't know the meaning of an idiom, think a little. AILET does not focus on your ability to ratify something. It focuses on your ability to use your brains, use your logic. You have to use that. Let's have a look at the next question. Question number 3, here you go. To play truant, what do you think is the meaning of this idiom? To make a narrow escape, to run away from work without permission, to be clever, or none of these? None of these is the trickiest of all the options. I know. It makes life really difficult. To play truant. If you know the meaning of truant, you can easily know the meaning of the phrase to play truant as well. To be clever, Samat. Okay. Priya as well says C. Everyone says C and D and C. Chalo, let me give you some hint. Truant is usually used for a student who misses school without informing. Can you guess the answer now? I see a lot of people not marking it correctly. Now can you guess the answer? Anyone, any guesses? I've already given you the definition of truant. Now that becomes a B. Yes, exactly. So, truant is somebody who escapes without informing, without permission. Thus, B, to run away from work without permission, is when somebody plays truant. That's the correct meaning of to play truant. B is our correct answer. Okay, apart from this, we have a lot of questions to do today. And after we're done with the questions, I'll give you a wise advice. Please stick with me towards the end for that wise advice. And that's not what you're supposed to do, Azad. So wait for my wise advice. I'm sure that's going to take you a long, long way because I see a lot of you making very silly mistakes. Question number 4. To see red, another idiom. What does that mean? To find fault with, to be very angry, to criticize others, or to victimize someone. To see red. Now, this is an easy one. You can again use your common sense to answer this question. To see red. If you've been regular with my classes, you would know what this idiom means. A lot of colors are associated with idioms. If you know the impact the color has, the emotion the color deals with, you shall be able to answer this question. Red is associated with anger. Like blue. When somebody feels blue, he feels sad. Scarlet is when someone's in love. When someone feels green in envy. So these are colors that denote a yellow is sick. These are colors that represent an emotion a person is going through. So red is angry. So when someone sees red, he's really, really angry, aggravated at that time. Okay, so the correct answer is going to be a B here. I hope you get these idioms. So when someone's green, he's green with envy. He's yellow, yellow when he's sick. Blue when he's sad, gloomy. Scarlet when he's in love. That's how you relate idioms. There are many idioms related to animals as well. So if you link idioms like that, animals say, colors say, situations say, nature say, food say, like apple of my eye, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. ऐसे लिंक करोगे, कैटेगराइज करोगे, रिकॉल करना बहुत आसान होगा. And ultimately, if you see no direct question coming on idioms, they are ultimately going to help you with understanding of passages as well. Please don't skip doing them. Let's have a look at question number 5, everyone. To flog a dead horse. That's the last idiom question we are doing. To flog a dead horse. What does that mean? To do a thing in vain, to act in a foolish way, to criticize strongly, or to try to revive interest in a subject that's out of date. Exactly, Ayush. That is red in anger. Even numbers. Yes, Diya, even numbers. That's true, Bhavesh. Yes, and that's where confusions arise. Hariom says A, B, D. Shabash. I would like to give you the wise advice right now, but I'll wait for the class to end. Only then I'll give you the wise advice. All random answers. Dead horse. फिर भी कोशिश कर रहे हो, उसको जगाओगे, उसकी रेसिंग करवाओगे. It's dead. उसको रिवाइव करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो आप. The correct answer is D. एक सब्जेक्ट है जो खत्म हो चुका, आउटडेटेड हो चुका, आप अभी भी कोशिश कर रहे हो उसमें लोगों के इंटरेस्ट को रीजनरेट करने के लिए. The correct answer is going to be a D. Try to revive interest in a subject that's out of date. It's a dead subject. When you flog it, you're trying to revive the interest in it. Recuperation. The answer is D here. Yeah, I saw that, Diya. Okay, Muskan, it's a D, bache. It's a D. All right. Next question पे चले. इसके पहले, did you hit the like button of this session? If you haven't done that, do that. I am getting up at 9 in the night teaching you for free. You need to pay me this Guru Dakshina. Hit the like button. Share the video with all your friends. Everyone. सारे Telegram group में share कर दो. And subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that yet. And before I proceed with question number 6, we have a test series that we have launched. Look no further. Jaldi se enroll kar lo. We are putting in a lot of efforts. And on that note, we have another All India Open Mock starting October 21st. Details आपको बताऊंगी after 2-3 slides. And make sure you register yourself for that open mock. उसको miss नहीं करना if you've missed out the last one. So here you go. Question number 6. करना क्या आपको? It's a parajumble question. Now, before I show you the next sentence, parajumble question में, parajumble में क्या है? You are given 4 sentences और वो jumbled up है. So you have to arrange them in a logical order. ठीक है? और उसका ऑर्डर आपको ऑप्शंस में से निकालना है. AILET का फेवरेट होता था parajumbles for quite a while. They'd been giving us a lot of parajumbles. So thank you हरिओम. तो इसलिए parajumbles अभी भी प्रैक्टिस नहीं किया तो कर लो. Very likely AILET में ये वापस आ सकता है. Let's try to solve this question. देखते हैं आप लोगों को कितना parajumbles आता है. Here you go. I'll give you 1 minute for this. It's a tricky one. Khushi, after your boards have completed, very likely in May, April. QSPR, B. A lot of people are saying B. Let's figure out. The key to get parajumbles correct is to find at least one mandatory pair. What is a mandatory pair? 2 sentences coming together. You have to find out at least 2 sentences that will come together in that specific sequence. I'll give you an example of a very evident mandatory pair here. You are introducing somebody here. This is your introductory sentence. And while you introduce this person, you've named this person. Sentence S furthermore defines this man's demeanor, how he looked. So you write his name and then in the next sentence you define him furthermore. So Q and S for sure will make a mandatory pair. Plus, Alifia, you're absolutely right. आप इन सारे sentences को पढ़ के ये absolutely निकाल सकते हो that Q is your opening sentence according to the remaining sentences that you have. And apart from that, QS is a mandatory pair. Also, some people are saying S and P is a mandatory pair. It could be, I'll tell you, P and R is more of a mandatory pair because in P he said something and in R you're trying to figure out what he meant by saying this. According to him, he meant give your best to every piece. So what he said, उसका meaning क्या था वो R में निकला. So P and R is another mandatory pair. I'll repeat, the key to get parajumbles correct is to identify 2 statements that would come together and then coming to the options, eliminating them and finding the answer. The moment you found out Q and S is human date repair, you have found your answer. Only one option has that. You can save a lot of time by doing that. So if you've got that correct, very good. I'm very proud of you. Let's have a look at the next question. Question number, let's be here for now. Fill in the blanks in the form of contextual vocab. A caveat here, a warning here. This and the next question are one of the trickiest contextual vocabulary questions that I've seen in AILET's history, ever since AILET has happened. Remember, you have to answer contextually. Contextually का मतलब क्या हुआ? एक वर्ड के बहुत सारी मीनिंग हो सकते हैं, यहां क्या सूटेबल होगा मुझे वो ढूंढना है इस सेंटेंस के मीनिंग के अकॉर्डिंग. Here you go. Exactly, भावेश, बिल्कुल. Yes, सिराफ डेली. सिराफ, अभी 10 क्वेश्चंस 11 क्वेश्चंस करते हैं ना, उसके बाद फिर मैं आपको स्केड्यूल दिखा दूंगी कि क्लैट की और एलेट की क्रैश कोर्सेज की हमारी स्केड्यूल क्या है. उनका स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो, अकॉर्डिंगली टाइम पे आया करो. ओके, I'll show you the screenshot. I'll show you the slide for our entire schedule for CLAT and our AILET crash course. All right. अब देखो, सबसे पहला ऑप्शन आपने एलिमिनेट किया होगा डी, क्योंकि ऑबिचुरीज तो डेड लोगों के लिए होती है. न्यूज़पेपर्स में आती है ना ऑबिचुरीज, इफ समबडी डाइज, सो आप उनके लिए एक नोटिस लिखते हैं, इन लविंग मेमोरी ऑफ XYZ पर्सन हु हैड डाइड ऑन दिस, बॉर्न ऑन दिस. तो ये ऑप्शन तो आप आउटराइटली एलिमिनेट कर देते हो, है ना. अब हम ऐसा करते हैं, ये देखते हैं कि क्या हमको कुछ लिखना है टूल्स के बारे में. वी हैव टू राइट समथिंग रेगुलरली about tools as well as practices. So I can write reports, I can write books. These two can be the answer. Okay, I'm still keeping it pending. Think, okay, but then let's find the answer from the last option. Last option का मतलब क्या हुआ? First let's see wither away. Wither away means to decay. डीके होना, रॉट होना. तो क्या यहां प्रैक्टिसेस और टूल्स डीके होंगे? विदर अवे नहीं हो सकते. ऑप्शन ए एलिमिनेटेड. ट्रेड अवे तो बिल्कुल नहीं करोगे आप प्रैक्टिसेस को, क्योंकि यहां ट्रेडिंग हो ही नहीं रही है. डाइंग अवे का मतलब होता है धीरे धीरे किसी भी चीज की साउंड कम होना. रिडक्शन इन साउंड. तो वो आंसर भी नहीं हो सकता है. अब आंसर क्या है मेरा? आंसर मेरा है डी. अब आप सोचोगे ऑबिचुरीज कैसे आ गया यहाँ? ये तो हमने सबसे पहले एलिमिनेट किया था. सो अंडरस्टैंड समथिंग. Obituaries are something that's written for something that's no more there. It's either dead or it's obsolete, but it's not there. So if I write a piece of article for somebody who's dead, it could be an obituary. I can also write an obituary for a tool or a practice that is no more into practice, into usage now. It's obsolete. Option D is absolutely a correct one. Did you get this? How to find the answer? The answer can be found only and only by the last blank. Wither away cannot be true because nothing is being decayed here. Trade, you don't trade tools and practices. You dying away, it's a volume becoming lower. So we're not referring to volume here. It's fading away. That is, it's no more in use now. The correct answer is a D here. Exactly. So agar first blank mein confused ho, get it to the second blank. That's how you answer context. And I told you, this is one of the trickiest questions you must have seen in the history of AILET. So let's move to the next one. Next question as well is not a very easy one. Question number 8. Here you go. What do you think is the answer for this question? Again, it's a contextual vocabulary fill in the blank question. कोशिश करो, try करो. A, B, C, B, C. Okay, चलो क्वेश्चन समझते हैं. सेंटेंस आया समझ? व्हाट इज द सेंटेंस ट्राइंग टू से? इफ यू अंडरस्टूड द सेंटेंस you will get the answer correct. You probably don't know the meaning of a lot of words here. Indian intellectuals, हमारे कंट्री में जो बहुत इंटेलेक्चुअल लोग हैं वो बोस्ट करते हैं. What do they boast about? That they are so inclined of being dashed to the most elitist. These intellectuals are something to the most elitist of the intellectuals. अभी जो intellectuals alive हैं, they are something to the most elitist intellectuals ever alive. क्या वो subordinate है सबसे elitist लोगों के? क्या वो heirs हैं? क्या वो ancestors हैं? क्या वो heir हैं? पहली चीज, इसको हम hair नहीं pronounce करते, we pronounce it as heir. दूसरी चीज, heirs कोई word होता ही नहीं है. Like sheeps कोई word नहीं होता, furnitures कोई word नहीं होता, heirs also is no word. So we eliminate this option outrightly. Now these present intellectuals, they boast of being something to the elitist of the intellectuals. Are they ancestors? If they were ancestors, they would have been dead. They are not dead. These are present intellectuals, Indian intellectuals. They are boasting right now about being ancestor to old elite intellectuals. They can't be ancestors to old elite intellectuals. Rather, they can come down in the hierarchy. Ancestor hota hai if you are here, people here are your ancestors. And heir hota hai if you are here, people here are your heir. What is going to be your correct answer now? They can't be ancestors. Bhavesh, absolutely correct. They are not working under you. It cannot be subordinates. They are not working under you. Rather, the claim here is that these intellectuals, they claim that they are heir, they are descendants of the most intellectual people, most intellectual traditions the world has ever seen. You are not working under them, it cannot be subordinates. The meaning of this sentence is that these current intellectuals, they boast of being heir, boast of being descendants to the most elite intellectual traditions of the entire world. They boast about it. हम सबसे इंटेलेक्चुअल है, हमारे पूर्वज हमसे भी ज्यादा इंटेलेक्चुअल थे, तो हम उनके हेयर हुए ना. The correct answer is a D. Are you now convinced, everyone? Thank you, Ayush. I'll take it as a compliment. Correct answer D. Convinced everyone? This is a tricky question. ऐसा क्वेश्चन आ जाएगा तो क्या करना है? अटेम्प्ट नहीं करना है. अगर नहीं आता तो रिस्क नहीं लेना है ना? Let's go to the next question. देखते हैं आगे. Our All India Open Mega Mock 2 starts October 21, ends October 31st. Diwali weekend, school ka chutti, take out 2 hours, sit for the mock, see where you stand among so many other kids who take the mock. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Know your strength, weakness, know the entire analysis. Will give you entire explanation of the mocks, and it's a real life flat experience. Don't miss out on that. Register yourself right now. Question number 9. You have to tell me the meaning of bequeath used contextually in this sentence out of the options that you have? Here you go. The meaning of the word bequeath. According to the sentence. What do you think is the answer? A. Even if you don't know the literal meaning of the word bequeath, you can understand the sentence and then mark the answer. If this is one trick I'm sure you've got now after reading so many passages, so much of editorial, I think you've got that now. Bequeath is to pass on. Some people bequeath it to their followers. उन्होंने क्या pass on किया अपने followers को? कुछ भी नहीं, कोई clear vision नहीं socialism और economics के बारे में. कुछ भी अच्छा pass on नहीं किया उन्होंने. So to bequeath is basically आपको अपने ancestors से, अपने पूर्वजों से, आपके जो ऊपर लोग हैं, what do you get from them? So to bequeath is to pass on. आप उसको monetary term में देखो, non-monetary term में देखो. In both of the instances, bequeath is to pass on. The correct answer is A. No, Siraf, I can't zoom it. You have to zoom it. You have to enlarge the screen to zoom into it. Okay, exactly, Vinayak. You're absolutely right. The correct answer is hand down or pass on something. Question number 10. Another parajumble question. Here you go. Okay, mark your answers out of the options that you have. D. Okay. Okay, A. Oh. You guys need to think harder. Make a mandatory pair. Make a mandatory pair. Find out two sentences that have to come together. Okay, others who are answering, tell me two sentences that you thought will absolutely come together. Don't tell me the answer. Tell me two sentences that make a mandatory pair here. PQ? Yes. Yes. Anything to do with his parents had always been vague to Manish. She had been too young. Why was it vague? Because he had been too young. PQ is our mandatory pair. And thus, our correct answer has to be A or C. एक और pair है, and that's Q and S. Because Q refers to the accident that had happened and grandpa had still owned the camp where this accident had happened. So Q and S also makes a mandatory pair. So PQ and QNS. Thus you find your answer, that's C. And grandpa had still owned it, but grandma hadn't gone there. Then after many years, they started taking him there. पहले grandma नहीं जा रही थी, फिर खुद भी जाने लग गई और उस बच्चे को भी ले जाने लग गई. So story चल रही है. It's a complete timeline, narrative. So P and Q, then Q and S and S and R. That's your sequence here. Now I'm going to continue with one last question that I show you here. This might look like a critical reasoning question, and it actually is one. But I'll tell you why have I brought it here. Last year, we saw, and even years before that, we've seen some assumption based questions and conclusion based questions coming up from passages in English section. So I am going to be giving you a passage, a tiny one, where I'm going to ask you to draw a valid or rather invalid assumption from the passage. Because such questions have been coming up in the past in the English section. That's why this question is here. Here are your 4 options. Tell me the correct answer. Yes, Bhavesh, you're right. Okay, Vinayak. Okay, हरिओम. हरिओम इंग्लिश में बहुत गलत करे आज तुमने बच्चे. But I'm glad you're pretty close here. All those people who marking D. एक बात बताओ, क्या D के गलत करने पे क्वेश्चन इनवैलिड हो रहा है? नहीं हो रहा है. तो D तो assumption है ही नहीं. चाहे फॉल्टी हो चाहे सही हो, assumption तो है ही नहीं क्वेश्चन का. क्वेश्चन D पे डिपेंडेंट ही नहीं है. Assumption क्या होता है? On which the question is dependent. On the truthfulness of which the question is dependent. आगे क्या होगा उससे मतलब नहीं है, लेकिन ऑथर ने इस क्वेश्चन को बनाते टाइम एक गलत अजम्पशन बनाया है. क्या है वो गलत अजम्पशन, मुझे ये निकालना है. So D certainly is not the answer. Focus on this line that says there will be no fishing industry in America in a few years. आप पूरे अमेरिका के बारे में क्लेम बता रहे हो, बट क्या ये पूरा पैराग्राफ पूरे अमेरिका के बारे में है या फिर सिर्फ न्यू फाउंडलैंड और न्यू इंग्लैंड के फिशरमैन और फिशरीज के बारे में है? The claim is about only these areas, yet the author concludes about the entire America's fishing industry. That's a faulty assumption the author makes here. The correct answer is a B. That is, he compares the Newfoundland to be a representative of the entire American fishing industry. That's our faulty assumption here. The correct answer is a B. Yes, it's a B. No, Azad, it's a B. Decline किसी भी चीज पे डिपेंडेंट डिक्लाइन तो है ना बच्चे. Correct answer is a B. On that note, this was my first class on most important questions in English. I'll be bringing yet another class on 18th. I'll be coming live again. This is the schedule for our AILET 2023 crash course. Take a screenshot, everyone, if you haven't done that yet. And this is our schedule for CLAT crash course 2023. I saw that, Dia. I saw that, Hariom. So have a look at this as well. Iska bhi screenshot le lo. Or this is our AILET ka sessions ka free schedule. That's all for today, everyone. Have a very good night's sleep. One wise advice. Most of the questions today were from previous year AILET papers. Please take these papers very sincerely. Please solve them thoroughly with us. Previous year papers are the best source to practice anything. Make sure you don't leave the session without subscribing to the channel and following us on Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, and downloading our app on Google Play. The descriptions are there under my video. You can find them. That is all for today, everyone. Have a very good night. God bless all of you. Work really, really hard. Yes. Bye, everyone. दैट्स द वाइज एडवाइस विनायक. प्रीवियस ईयर पेपर्स को बहुत ध्यान से सॉल्व करो. वो आपके लिए क्लैट शेड्यूल फिर से दिखाऊं? ये देख लो क्लैट का शेड्यूल. हियर यू गो. दिस इज क्लैट शेड्यूल. हैव अ लुक एट इट अगेन. Nancy, this is the advice. Please take your previous year. I'm hanging in the air, but कोई बात नहीं. Okay. So my wise advice is please take your previous year papers very sincerely. Bye everyone. Good night.